It might be more fun.
What do you think? I think so.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday. Wait, who are we singing happy birthday to?
Harry Potter.
Harry Potter.
You're a wizard, Harry.
You're a wizard. Today is Harry Potter's birthday.
Happy birthday.
So as you might have guessed by some of our teasers this week leading up to this episode, today is all about the world of Harry Potter. To honor our favorite wizard's birthday,
Happy birthday.
happy birthday.
We didn't make a Hagrid cake. We're sorry.
I don't care. They can't see it if they're listening, so the only people that know are subscribers on YouTube.
Well then, to our listeners out there, I did make a Harry Potter cake. It's right here.
Axio cake. I don't think that's the right spell anyway.
Whoa,
But that's alright. That's alright.
Man, if we could do spells and they work just like they do in, the books and the movies, I would be in heaven.
Now, who would you use one of the unforgivable curses on, and which one? If you could pick any. I know that's a difficult question, and it's very involved, but...
I don't even know. I mean, I have an idea. But that's a... What about you?
I think if we could mesh, the real world with Harry Potter world, I would do the killing curse to Dolores Umbridge, because I can't with her. She's horrid.
She is.
Yeah.
She is. Even fun fact, Stephen King is scared of Dolores Umbridge.
Famed horror author Stephen King?
Yep, Stephen King.
Oh, that's
You're
weird.
welcome. Sorry we put your scare out there in Radio Land.
Now, wasn't there somebody that he compared her with when we were doing research?
Hannibal Lecter.
Oh.
Hannibal Lecter.
He's not wrong. I mean, Mr. King has been pretty on point with
Could you
this.
just see her like, I would eat your liver with a can of fava beans and a nice bottle of Chianti.
One of her creepy cats would be in the corner drinking on the
so
saucer.
I kind of tried to do the Umbridge because, as we all know in our origin story, we both are in theater and have done theater. And actually, me, Wanda, actually did get to play Dolores Umbridge in a small little local play.
Yeah.
That we put on for.
It was virtual.
It was virtual, and it was great. I loved doing the role. I mean,
you were very good at it too. Don't let her fool you. She was pretty good.
Very frantic. But she was a fun role to play.
Yeah.
I mean, as an evil villain, and I don't play evil villains that often. I liked playing her.
Well, she's kind of one of those people that it's an unexpected villain. I think that's why she's so scary.
Yeah.
Because she's so girly and pink, and I like cats, and there's nothing wrong with people that like cats or pink or whatever, but like I think that's what makes her so scary, because psychologically she on the surface is just a femme fatale, and then deep down she's just a scary bitch.
Oh yeah.
I mean,
I don't think she was loved as a child.
That could be it. Seriously. In that same show I got to dual play people. I got to play
That's true.
The Quidditch instructor.
Yep.
And I got to play the nurse. So it was cool because I got to come in and out, and I got to do wardrobe changes here in our studio, which was really
weird.
But kind of neat. So
I know I didn't have to do any changes, but I had to walk off my camera, so it was very funny walking back and forth from my computer.
Because it's in your own house, since it was virtual, it was kind of
so you're
odd.
just like, okay, I'm going to exit stage left.
And I'm out of frame.
Walk out of frame.
There it is. I turned my camera off, and then while I was still sitting calmly, and then I ran past the table we're sitting at right now for this podcast, and frantically changed clothes, and it was a fun time.
Pandemic, but we made it work.
It was awesome.
And it was lots of fun.
Mm-hmm. Have you thought about what curse and for whom?
Oh God. Of course the killing curse, the real bad one.
We like the bad guy of Harry Potter. He's fun to mimic.
He's a lot of fun. I probably would go for Umbridge because I really hated her in the movie.
Mm-hmm.
I despised her, especially because I put myself in the main character position.
Mm-hmm.
The things that were happening and stuff were very much like he's trying to get to the bottom of something, and in the end, he has to write in blood, and it was just intense.
Into his own hand and arm, and there were scars, and it was just.
I could not imagine that. I could not imagine that in school, especially having a sadistic teacher.
Oh no.
/ headmaster just sitting there and watching me bleed.
And going, you must not tell lies. And you just want to be like, fuck you. Shut up and sit down.
See, she is on top. She is. I thank you, Stephen King.
Yeah.
It is so much it's like, if you don't put the lotion in the basket, it's going to get the hose again.
Yeah. It's absolutely up there with some of the greatest villains. And I don't know how Rowling was able to map this out, because as somebody who writes in my free time as one of my hobbies, the amount of outlining and things you have to get prepared for a book series of 7 books like that to make sure that no small detail is left behind is really intense.
But did you use regular paper or did you use barf bags?
Regular paper?
Well, our listeners out there, J.K. Rowling actually did write a lot of the transcript on airplane barf bags.
Oh. I mean, that's the biggest piece of paper you have on an airplane, so...
I mean, if you're not using it to upchuck, you might as well verbally upchuck on it.
Yeah. Word vomit is a big deal, especially to a writer. That's how all the good ideas happen, is you dive through the word vomit that you wrote the day before and try to mine gold.
The house names. When you're sitting on an airplane, you're just like, man, I don't know if this sickness is getting me, or do I just need a good huff puff? Huff puff. Hufflepuff. Anybody got a pencil? Okay, pencil. Anybody got paper? No one's got paper. No one's got any of those mall magazines or anything.
The girl that just handed me the pen looks like a raven.
Ravenclaw!
What?
Oh my god! They're all coming out all at the same time. Oh look, there's a barf bag right here in front of me. Thank God!
Now, do you know why today is Harry Potter's birthday?
Why?
Because it's also author J.K. Rowling's birthday. So it's a little bit self-serving, but I get it.
That. I mean, I probably would do that too with my main character if I was going to do that.
The hero of the story has
I might as well embody my own character.
The person that's doing all of the killing and things. And speaking of killing, Daniel Radcliffe, while playing Harry Potter, killed quite a lot of wands. We found that he actually broke 80 wands over the course of the movies, using them as drumsticks, which I have a wand here. For those of you that are watching.
Oh,
and I can't imagine using this as a drumstick. This is pretty hefty.
It is.
I mean, can you imagine beating drums with that?
Could you just imagine him having butterfingers and it flying out of his hand? He's like, oh no, butterfingers.
I almost made a beating off joke about a movie about children. I'm so glad I did.
Let's see, how do we... Eraso.
Erased. Erasio. I don't know. That would have been great.
Apparently, a lot of the spells that were used, something that I read in an article, is actually Latin.
Wow. Okay. Or, in the fun fact we looked up for our dear listeners, the killing curse, Avada Kedavra, comes from an Aramaic phrase called, and I'm going to mess this up, so I apologize for those of you that know Aramaic, but Avada Kedavra, which is loosely translated as disappear like this word.
See, now that's chilling. That's chilling. That's like in some cultures where they're just like, we will steal your name.
Mm-hmm. Or your likeness.
Yeah. Or like, you know, something like in Game of Thrones.
Mm-hmm.
With like the Sully. No. Why is it not here?
Is it the slave army she bought with the dragon? Like, I forget their name too, but yeah, they get to. She makes them pick their own names, and they're just not sure. What to do because they've never had freedom.
Any of our YouTube watchers, I'm pulling that memory right out and
pulling that information out of her brain
with my wand.
Wand for Wanda.
Now, another funny thing that we saw, and I think that we can relate to this, is the Dementors. Dementors are wicked scary.
Oh, yeah.
And they, like, suck everything out of you.
Mm-hmm.
And J.K. Rowling's actually made the Dementors kind of embody her own depression.
Oh.
For her mom's death.
That makes sense, though, because anybody that suffers with depression or battles with any kind of mental health issues, as we previously discussed on other episodes, you know, you kind of go, oh, that's why they're so scary.
Yeah.
I've seen them before, but in a different iteration in my own mind.
Well, yeah. It's like, I've seen, like, in comic books, there's a really fun comic strip that I actually read on the daily. And the way that this person draws the emotions are these, like, giant, faceless monsters.
I mean, that sounds pretty much like a Dementor to me.
Like, it, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's just, it's so crazy how in any type of story or show or movie, anything like that, anything that we read or watch, how, like, anything that's traumatic or causes us pain is faceless.
Mm-hmm. That's usually the nightmares I have, is it's a faceless person or faceless something chasing me.
Mine's normally a faceless magician, but we won't get into that.
That's a topic for a whole nother episode.
That's a whole different story.
That's a whole
on a whole different level. But I found that absolutely, like, everything kind of clicked together.
It resonates like when well with those of us that struggle with that.
When you're in Azkaban, you know, like, you feel nothing.
Because you've just been drained of all emotion, even good ones. Good, bad, crazy. Everything's just sucked out of you.
I find that so fascinating.
Well, so we have a lot of fascinating facts, but I'd like to get to some opinion stuff. So I want to know who your favorite character in the whole series is. I know that's hard to pick just one. You can give me a top 3 if that's easier for you.
I'm really going to have to say my top is Ron Weasley. I definitely, I definitely emanate Ron.
You got Weasley vibes.
Oh, I got yeah.
It must be the red hair.
I think so.
I mean, it's purple.
It's purple.
Technically.
But underneath this purple facade, it's red.
Yeah.
But, you know, like, when I was younger, I came from a very big family. I always saw my cousins and aunts and uncles. And, you know, just having all of that, but also it's like, I get the courage and sometimes I don't have the courage. And I eat all the time.
See, for me, I think it would be Hermione, which is probably why we get on so well. Because
I see that. I won't marry you, though.
Well, that's okay. I mean...
You're already married.
Yeah. I'm already somewhat taken, I guess. I'm just teasing. I love you, husband person. But I think that works out well for me as a favorite character because I was always the nerdy book girl. Like, my dad had to take me to different libraries just to get a different selection of books when I was a kid, and would really take me like twice a week because I was reading like 17 books a week, and I always kicked it out of the park for that Book It Pizza Hut program that they actually just brought back, because I couldn't not just absorb everything I could read when I was her age. So that, and I'm kind of a know-it-all in my professional life. So like,
I could really see you like whoever would be our Harry.
Yeah.
Because I really do feel like I would just be like, yeah, Harry, let's do that. That sounds great. Let's do it. And then you're just like, oh, no, guys, actually, you don't want to do that because you'll get in trouble. Or worse, expelled.
See, now, I would be more worried about being expelled than dying. So that fits the diatribe. Now, who out of our friends, our real-life friends, would you make Harry and Ginny? Now, I know the kid has a scar similar to Harry's, but he's the kid. He's not, in the front and circle, as it were. So, who do we pick?
All I can think about is Sean as Ginny.
Yes, Sean would be Ginny, though, because you guys are great siblings, so that would work.
Sorry.
No, you're good. Can you imagine him with that red wig across the room here on and just sitting here with us as Ginny Weasley?
Oh, I can see it. Sean, absolutely, because I know you're going to listen to this on Saturday.
Yeah. It's because we love you.
You're going to listen to it today.
Oh, that means he's our best friend collectively.
He is.
That's amazing.
He is.
I honestly, I think I struggle with where to put Katie, but I think that Kelly would be Harry, because
she would be Harry.
She's got the lion heart with the not always knowing what to do thing.
Yep.
And she just loves so freely, and she's
and I am her Ron.
Yeah, and she's our fierce protector when it matters.
Yep.
So,
and if she gets into some debacle, I'm always walking in with a candy bar going, what did I miss?
What I miss?
Because, of course, if some of our listeners out there, a great production.
Oh, the best. If you're not going to watch the real HP movies, you need to go check out our favorite Broadway group. Well, I guess off-Broadway group.
Off-Broadway group.
Star Kid.
They
do a Harry Potter, a very Potter musical.
A very Potter musical. Oh my God, this is the best. There are just so many things. And that's what's so great about, like, these movies. That's what happens to a lot of, like, large movies. Mm-hmm. Like Harry Potter, Twilight, Lord of the Rings. They always get some type of, like, spoof.
Yeah. And notoriety and parodies and everything good that you would want to come out of something that wonderful.
Oh, yeah.
And I think that one works so well because it's so over the top that you can't take it seriously.
Yeah.
And the minute you do, something funny happens, like, I'm transferring to pig farts next year. And you're like, pig farts? Oh, yeah, Hogwarts is kind of a weird name for a school. And you start thinking about why it's funny.
And the headmaster's rumble roar.
Rumble roar. It's amazing.
It's great. If you don't watch it now, at least try to find some time. It's on YouTube. It's great. They have a lot of musicals that are just absolutely amazing.
They're all great.
So, a major shout out. And actually, at my work, all of my coworkers, they absolutely love Harry Potter.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know anybody that's not in our generation that hasn't even... I don't know how I'm even saying these words tonight, but it's so beloved by the millennials and the Gen Xers because it's just... We were there at the bookstores at midnight waiting in line for this book series.
Because if you think about it, we didn't have any book like that in a long time. Mm-hmm. I mean, the last series that I can think of that like really like took us was like those like Animorphs.
Yeah.
Series.
Yep.
Or the Babysitters Club.
Babysitters Club was huge. And I remember I was
more into, like, the witch books. Like, the teen witches.
Well...
Because I was so into Charmed.
That makes sense for you, though. That doesn't surprise me at all.
I know.
I read everything, so, like, Monica. I read both.
I know.
I know. So, I took a youth class because I, of course, have a degree in English. So, I had to take youth literature. And I remember they made us read the first book, and I never read them before, and it was kind of a joke. And I'm like, are you fucking kidding me? I got to read this book about some kid that's like a magician or some shit.
Mm-hmm.
What is this? I read it in the first semester, and by Christmas break, I was reading the fifth book, Order of the Phoenix, and it had just come out. And I remember sitting on my parents' couch, home for Christmas break, reading Order of the Phoenix at 2 a.m., terrified that Voldemort was watching me from the front fucking window in Worcester, Ohio. Come on. There's no way.
I mean, Voldemort can travel.
He's
got those keyboards.
And flute powder power. Flute powder power.
Flute powder.
Well, getting back to, who would Katie be? Because I think she would be a perfect Neville or Luna. And I can't decide which one she fits better with.
I could see her as Neville Longbottom.
Because she's, got a sweet, gooey center, and she stands up to us when it matters. So, I love her. I mean, we love all of you.
We love all of you. I mean, if we have to use a spell against you, it's only because we love you.
It is. And those are some of our very, very best friends that we talk to on the regular, and we just have to shut up to them.
And of course, we already know that Katie can do a very good Minerva.
Oh, she was great as Minerva. That was Professor McGonagall.
Yes, she did all of her chef's kiss.
She even did her makeup to look older than she is, and it was just the piece de resistance of that whole show.
It was.
I will say something else that is a piece de resistance of Harry Potter is Alan Rickman, our dear beloved Severus Snape of the series, the only man, other than maybe Hagrid, that was so perfectly cast.
Yeah.
It could not be redone without them.
If they would happen to do a reboot, and we all know that's what they're really into right now.
That's what society does. They reboot original ideas.
All these reboots. Oh my gosh, don't get me started.
Don't get me started.
Don't get me started with these horrible reboots. Anyways.
Alan Rickman was actually given spoilers before his audition by Rowling herself, who wanted him to play Snape, so that he would have a better understanding of how to act.
Okay.
When he went into the audition room. And obviously he got the role because he's amazeballs. But that is
Die Hard.
How do you...
Die Hard.
Die Hard, obviously.
Die Hard!
His other best role, I think, because I don't like watching the... and of course, it just left me with the movie with all the love stories where he's in that one and you just go, really?
Love Actually.
Love Actually. That's exactly what it is.
One of the top movies to watch on Valentine's Day.
Yes. Not a fan of Valentine's Day.
No.
Speaking of red things, something I read when we were researching that really stuck out to me that I knew you guys would love. Dragon blood is used for lots of stuff in the wizarding world. But there's one thing that I don't know that we really realized it was used for until today. Oven cleaner. They can use it as oven cleaner.
Well, if Harry Potter world and Game of Thrones world came together, Daenerys would not be very happy.
She would murder those kids.
She would. And they'd be like, what?
The big three would be dead.
This is what we do.
Yes, the big three would be dead. And probably Neville and Luna with them because they were always right there. So,
But I do like the horn-tailed dragon.
Well, how can you not? That's the best one.
Yeah.
I mean, in Harry Potter land. Obviously, Drogon is the best in Game of Thrones because he is the main.
Oh, but I love stupid little Rhaegal.
I know, his little green butt, so cute.
Little stupid. Little stupid. He was a little stupid, but he was cute.
You know who else is cute? Fred and George Weasley.
Oh, yeah.
And we found out while we were celebrating Harry's birthday today that Fred and George's birthday is on April Fool's Day. How perfect is that?
That makes sense.
I mean,
who else could open up a joke shop
mm-hmm.
on April Fools on their birthday?
And that segues into our other fun fact of the night, guys. Two of the funniest people ever made in our generation of people to look up to Rosie O'Donnell and Robin Williams.
Oh.
They both lobbied pretty hard to J.K. Rowling to be in these movies, and they offered to do it for free because they were such big fans. And she said no to Robin Williams. Can you believe that?
No.
Although, we were talking before the episode, who would he play?
I know.
In this series?
That's a tough one. Like, I was thinking Nearly Headless Nick, but then thinking of John Cleese, because John Cleese is fucking amazing.
And how do you replace John Cleese? You can't.
For Nearly Headless Nick. I mean, you can't.
And John Cleese also is like one of the founding members of Monty Python. For those of you that don't already know that listen to us, and we're huge Monty Python people over here.
Monty Python.
So, you start looking at that and go, well, no wonder she picked only British and Irish actors, because if you open it up to the American acting world, there's so many options for some of those roles. Who would you even pick?
Yeah, it's really tough. He probably would have been like a character in one of the pictures.
That would have been a perfect cameo, though. I think that's great.
And Rosie O'Donnell is the fat lady.
She would have been the best fat lady for those of you that are huge Gryffindor fans.
Gryffindor!
And, so we are big fans. And if, for those of you listening today, we will be posting with this episode a link to take the quiz for what house you belong into. I know Tammy here is a Ravenclaw, but Wanda, what are you?
I think I'm a Hufflepuff, but I'm not sure. I literally have to take the quiz again.
Okay.
Because I'm in between. Like, I'll take a quiz and I'll be Gryffindor.
Yeah.
Or I'll answer something differently and I'll be Ravenclaw.
Mm-hmm.
Or it's very funny.
It's one of those things where it's not true all the time.
Yeah.
For some things, because I think I'm part Hufflepuff and part Ravenclaw.
I just
personally.
know that out of the 4 households, I couldn't be a Slytherin.
See, I think I might be a little bit of that. I think I have a skosh of that deep down, the ambitious, sly.
I'm sure once I get older, I think Slytherin will come out, but I mean, I feel loyal.
Yeah.
Virtuous.
Mm-hmm.
Compassion.
All of those fit you perfectly. I'm just a nerd, so that's why Ravenclaw fits. I guess I'm witty. That's fine.
I'm sure I could be a Hufflepuff. I would smoke weed all the time. I'd be in herbology class all the time.
Like to eat?
Oh, yeah.
I like to eat. I like to eat a lot. All right, guys. So tell us how you guys would celebrate Harry's birthday with him if you were in the world of Harry Potter in our comments, whether you're watching on YouTube, catch us there. On TikTok, catch us there.
Like us in one of these corners.
Yes. Instagram and Facebook, and we now have a Twitter. So if you want to catch the Tammy and Wanda show, or you have an idea for a future episode,
there are plenty of outlets
at our email address that's listed on our Facebook page. So, and we put a lot of our content, everything's a little different, so that you got to follow us in more than one place to see it all.
Oh yeah, we like to keep you guys on your toes, so not one thing is the same. So we know that you know
us.
That we know that you know. We want you
to listen to our podcast.
That's right.
Tammy and Wanda love you, baby.
We do.
And on that note,
that'll be our next episode is Austin Powers. Yeah, baby. Yeah.
We do need to do an Austin Powers episode. But for those of you listening today, that is it for today, and we will see you next week.
Yep.
Goodbye.
Aloha Mora.
Aloha Mora.